Mama gave birth to a drug dealer.
I ain't gon' change.
Mama gave birth to a drug dealer.
I ain't gon' change.
Cause my mama gave birth to a...
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to, this is my, I guess you could say re-review or re-upload review. No, let's say a re-review. It's my re-review of Iron Man 3. Now, many people who've been on my channel might not know this, but back in the day, my first video I ever did was Iron Man 3. And I did this video because I hated Iron Man 3. I want to tell you guys how I disliked the film, how I thought it was executed poorly, how the characters themselves were executed poorly. It was terrible. Iron Man 3 was one of those films that it's like a slap to me. It's like you asking Mark, what the fuck were you doing? It's like people say, oh, Man of Steel was worse too. Not really. Compared to compared to this, there's some stuff I like in Man of Steel compared to this. I don't like it. But let's get into it. All right. When I do this video, I think I did a video back in 2013 when the film came out, and I did not like it. I know I saw it in the theaters, and then my friend and I were in there, and I'll tell you a story. We were all talking about these other guys. They were talking about, oh yeah, we can't wait to see the Mandarin. These guys were legit Iron Man Marvel fans. And I was like, oh cool. So we go in there, we sit by them because we got no one else to sit by. So we go sit there, and we watching the movie, and we're just sitting there, and I kid you not. When that reveal happened, those people said, fuck this film, and they walked out. They walked out. There was like people that they just walked out. And these were legit Marvel fanboys of Iron Man. They was like, fuck this film, and they walked out. You know. I didn't walk out because I paid. I was like, fuck that shit. It was free, I walked out, but I mean, I paid, so fuck that. So, so I saw that, and I you know, after the movie, we caught up with them because they were down the block eating something because we got some food. It was late at night though. This is when the movies, you know, back at that time, they were still doing late night, midnight releases. It was hard to find food and shit like that back in the day. So now there was a place that was open. We saw them and said, "How was the film?" It's true. So one of their friends came back and he told him about the film, and he was like, "Yeah, y'all did a good thing to walk out." You know, it's just one of these things. We talked about it, and it's just it was a bad film. It was a terrible film. Looking back at it, there's no redeeming qualities of that film. There's nothing. It's just Pepper Potts was written very weird, not terrible. Just she was written poorly in this one compared to the first film, and a little bit more the second film. I thought she was written very terribly. She was written poorly in the second one too, but she was just written like complete acidine in this one. And it's nothing against Gwyneth Paltrow. She was hot as hell in this film. It's just written poorly. This film itself, it's a hard film to, you know, really. It's one of these Marvel films that I think even Marvel likes to forget about this film. I think they know how bad it is, how badly it was made, how it was. Because here's the thing about it. Even though this film made $1 billion, it was a huge success. Let me ask you a question though. Have you ever seen Marvel go out their way and retcon as much shit in Iron Man 3 as they done in any other film? I've never seen that before. Example number one. The whole Marvel one-shot. They don't do it no more, but back then, Marvel one-shot. This is what they did. Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin, the so-called Mandarin, was locked up in fucking jail. So they had some guy broke him out of jail. And he told him, hey, look, the real Mandarin wants to see you. Pretty much retconning all the shit in the fucking Iron Man 3 saying Guy Pearce was the real Mandarin. And then somebody else said, well, see, he wasn't the real Mandarin. It doesn't make sense. Why the fuck go through all that trouble saying he's not the real Mandarin? Come out, he said he was the real Mandarin. Then we find out later on that he was the Mandarin. That he wasn't the Mandarin, that someone else was the Mandarin. It makes no much sense. It doesn't make that much sense. Then, to me, it felt like they were just giving the title of the name away because it felt like Mandarin was just a title, a name. Like, you know how they do in an Arrow House, Ra's al Ghul is a title, not a name. You know, it's like, huh? It's like, why are they doing that? It felt to me, watching Iron Man 3, it's like watching Dark Knight Rises. It really is. It really is. And I'll bring you some examples in a minute, just in a few minutes, in a minute or two. But that's example number one, how they retconned that. Retcon number two was in fucking Captain America Civil War. And you probably say, how they retcon it? They retconned it because every event that happened in Iron Man 3 did not happen in fucking Winter Soldier. It's funny. The fucking governor or whatever who was in Iron Man 2 was in Winter Soldier. So they pretty much just said, okay, what happened in Iron Man 3 never happened. We're going what happened in Iron Man 2. And I'm sitting there like, huh? It's like, what? Example number three, Avengers Age of Ultron. Two examples. Tony Stark has a suit. Don't mention that he destroyed all his suits in Iron Man 3. Doesn't mention none of his suits exist. It doesn't mention that he still have more suits made. And it looks like he made more suits, saying, I guess he made more suits. And I'm looking like, I guess he retconned everything in Iron Man 3. Retcon that. Retcon number 2, or 4, example number 4, excuse me, bear with me, is War Machine on Rhodey. Where's the Iron Patriot at? Where's he at? Oh, that's right. It never existed. Because they retconned it, because now he's back in War Machine. And trust me, thank God, because that film itself was, it's a lot of shit in Iron Man. They retconned the whole film because pretty much they know the film was not loved by the masses. There's casual fans that like the film, but there's other people that did not like it. I think even Kevin Feige did not like the film either. I think he was like, I think we kind of pushed the buttons a little bit. Let's take a break and let's go back to what we do best, how we did in Phase 1. And you saw that a little bit in Thor: Dark of the World, just a little bit. And you saw that hell of a lot more in Winter Soldier. They fucking did that film amazing. I have to give them props for that. That's one of the best films that Marvel has done, period. Period, hands down. It's up there with Iron Man and Incredible Hulk for me, period. Now, moving past that, we get all that out the way, and I'm going to give you some examples why this film does not work as a comic book film. No, it doesn't work as a... Well, let's go with the comic book aspect, because as a film, it's still good. If you don't know who Iron Man is and you just walk into it, you might think it's good. So let's do the comic book side, because that's more better. I think a lot of us can relate to that. Well, number one, Mandarin was built up for 2 films. The 3rd film, you're supposed to deliver with that. They didn't deliver. So I said, okay, fine. What sense does it make to make Ben Kingsley a great actor, in a film? That makes no fucking sense. Granted, he did a terrific job of doing that, but he even said in an interview he would like to be the fucking Mandarin. There's a lot of people that came out the film that were very not pleased with the film as much as we were. There's not too many people pleased. I'll say this about the film. The film is separated by these many people. The people who thought it was a good film, the people who tolerated the film, and there's other people who fucking hate the film. I fucking hate the film. But there's not many people that said that that's the best film they ever see, or they love the film. There's not that many people for Iron Man 3. It just doesn't have that big fan base like a Winter Soldier has, or like a Guardians of the Galaxy had, or like even Thor: Dark of the World has a little bigger fan base than this. This film, among comic book fans, is very hated. More so than Iron Man 2 now. A lot of people look at Iron Man 2 as a waste film. But let me ask you a question. That film served a purpose. And you're probably saying, what did it serve? It served a purpose for the Avengers because it grossed $1 billion. It was a commercial for the Avengers, and it did its job. When you look at Iron Man 3, you look at all the retcons I just stated earlier, they did, and you look at Iron Man 3, and you say, well, what was the purpose of the film? Exactly, there was no purpose. So to me, it was just a waste of money and a waste of opportunity. Hell, but granted though, they made their money back off the film, and they doubled that money what they made back. And I'm happy they did that, because now they can put money elsewhere and focus on more films like this new Civil War. Put that money to Civil War. and make that the best film you can do, because right now that's the most anticipated film, and this film will gross to $1 billion. I don't care what you say. Will it gross more than Man of Steel? I mean, Batman vs Superman? Is it? Yeah, it might. yeah, it might. But then again, you gotta remember, Batman vs Superman is the first time ever, so that film is gonna gross shit ton of money. So yeah, but it has to be good though. Yeah, and then there's other stuff they did in the film too. Like they had a kid in the film. To me, he served no purpose in the film. I stated this before in my review. They should use Iron Lad, which his name is Nate Richards, aka Kane the motherfucking Conqueror. To me, it would have served a purpose. He would have served a purpose. Then we could have had a little hit there saying, "Who's Nate Richards?" Comic book fans would know who he is, but casual fans wouldn't. They do their research and they're like, "Oh my God, he's Kane the fucking Conqueror," and they just can go back to that. And that's a little Easter egg you can do there. They didn't do that. They had a lot of Easter eggs here and there, but to me, the film was trash. It was just complete trash. The acting in here was not special. Robert Downey Jr. did it. You know, he was Tony. He's the character. He's a character. He's to me, when I look at Robert Downey Jr., I look at Tony Stark. He's Tony Stark. It's one of these things where you have to look at it and be quite honest with you guys. It's a film that could have been more, but it wasn't more. It's just a film that was missed opportunities, missed many opportunities. I watched that film back in 2013. I haven't watched it again. Like Jeremy John said, it's a film that you look back at it, it's just like, you don't care. You just fucking don't care. To me, my best film in 2013 was The Wolverine. And then Man of Steel came after it, but was Wolverine. That was the best film in 2013, in my eyes. Comic book wise. It was just, they had everything on point, writing was good, the story was a hell of a lot better, it was engaging, where Iron Man 3, it felt like it wasn't. And the comedy in here was so overboard to the point I was like, enough. Can you guys stop? Can y'all get back to the story? Enough with the comedy. It was too much in here. It was very too much. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys think of Iron Man 3 if you've seen the film again. Do you hate it as much as I do, or are you in that demographic that, you know, who tolerates it and who likes it, you know, which is fine. There's not many people I've seen on the internet that say they love this film. This is the best Marvel film. It's on the bottom of a lot of people's lists. And more films come out now, it's going lower and lower to the point it's like neck and neck with Iron Man 2 for me. It's complete trash. It's complete trash. You can have guys that comic book cast kiss the ass of that film all day and all night, but if you look all the retcons they have done for that film, you can look back at the film and say you were just a waste. There was no point of you being made. Winter Soldier should have came before that, and to me, I would have been fine with that. And Iron Man 3 should have came later on. It's just, whatever. As always, guys, like, subscribe. Let me know down below what you think. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, hit the like button. As always, peace.